Hello, good evening, everybody. Welcome to round number 4 of the North American Grand Prix Monday night. Lotus 98T Open Wheel Championship coming to you live tonight from Monaco. And my name is Al Marimon. I'll be broadcasting solo this evening as my regular Monday night broadcast partner has jumped in to the cockpit tonight. We'll be participating in tonight's race. So we're currently in the practice session. We have yet to move over to qualifying, as that should flip over here anytime soon. But these guys have been putting in a lot of time here at this circuit. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay, but very difficult track, this Monaco circuit. As you can see, quick look at the track map before we move over to qualifying. 19 corners. This is the 88 version of the track, so I believe there's a few less corners than the modern day version. And but pretty much the same track. Not much has changed over the years, but we have moved over to qualifying, and let's jump on board right now as these guys make their way out on track here. Championship leader Chris Moses leading the field away. Andrew Adamson showing very, very quick practice times yet again. He had the fastest time leading up to the race tonight. He dipped into the 21s in qualifying trim, so Adamson certainly showing he is very quick in the qualifying sessions here, but had a good run last week. Had a nice strong finish last week at Imola. His teammate finished second, so look for these guys, Kirkbride and Adamson from Rowdy Burns Racing Team, to put on a good showing tonight, as both those drivers looking good. Jump on board here with Adamson. Please disregard that red X coming across the screen. A little glitch here with this track, but Adamson making his way out here for his first time lap into turn 1. He's seen a lot of guys taking it too deep there in practice, making contact with that the outside wall there, which is quite common around this track. Over the hump. Approaching the Grand Hotel hairpin. I don't know what it's called these days, but word around the paddock, these guys are going to be they're maximizing the most out of these cars. You're not going to see these guys really go higher than the four gears. It looks like Adamson is using more than the 4 gears, but just watching these guys in practice, some of these guys only using 4 gears around this place. You see Adamson quickly catching up to Moses, who is going to be the first person to set a time around here. Adamson is looking quick. Moses 136.7. Adamson right away to 22.8. So setting the early tone here is Adamson. Moses 3 seconds off Adamson's pole time. Matt Taylor was looking quick. He is in the pit lane. Oh, I take that back. He is out on track on a flyer now. Larson's just setting his personal best, 24.9. Canola with a 24.5. Saw some of these guys in race trim. Some of the faster guys running in the 25s on the soft. So expects these qualifying times to get down a couple seconds below that. But Taylor currently 3rd in the championship. Is 10th on the timing sheet early on in this session. This is a 25-minute open qualifying session. Taylor well behind the first two sectors, so it looks like he made a mistake. Meanwhile, Adamson up on his personal best. And he resets fast time with a 22.6, so going 2 laps in a row there for Adamson. So it looks like the qualifying tires will hold up for an out lap and 2 flying laps. So good job for Adamson here early on. Tiago Canola currently in second place, 1.8 seconds off the leader. Brad Maris currently in 11th with the 29.9. He's my broadcast partner, but it's going to be hard to figure out where he is on track as our broadcast app. Since he typically broadcasts with me on Monday nights, kind of hides him from the standings. So, but we should be able to pick him up at some point here during the race. I'm trying to figure out where he is. Canola looks like he is on an out lap. Aaron Parsons looks like he has just started a flyer, coming up on some traffic here early on. This is going to be something these guys are going to have to contend with around here. Certainly the lap traffic. Parsons second in the championship, only 2 points behind Chris Moses, who's leading. Parsons making his way through the tunnel to the Bell chicane. Guys going to be using a lot of that. Oh, looks like Parsons, a little wiggle there. Not sure what he was doing. Only 2/10 off in the second sector. So it looks like, not sure if Parsons backed out of it or not. So it looks like he's going a lot slower. Taylor now sets his personal best, 23.1. Well, Parsons did set a time, 23.4. So Parsons getting a little out of shape there, exiting turn 1. Parsons carrying a truckload of weight, 45 kilograms of success ballast. So certainly the most weight we've seen so far this season. Matt Taylor with 15. So it's Adamson, Taylor, and Parsons, your top 3 early on here in this session. Tiago Canola running in 4th. His personal best 24.5. So has yet to improve on his personal best. He's a half off in the first sector and the second sector. He could pick up his time here. It doesn't look like he's going to improve his position. So he does, but remains in 4th. Greg Myers in 5th here early on. So nice time set by Greg at 24.656. Peter Burke currently in 6th, was looking pretty strong as Adamson now resets fast lap with a 22.2. Peter Burke on an out lap, currently sitting in 6th. John Houston currently in 7th, exiting the pit lanes. Kevin Kirkbride now about to start a flyer here. Kirkbride carrying 50 kilograms of ballast, finishing second last week at Imola. Jumping on board with Kirkbride. Peter Szabo now jumps up to 5th with a 24 flat. Szabo is making his debut this season here on Monday night. Kirkbride. Really kind of wanting to get away from him there as he's entering the tunnel. Closing up very quickly on John Houston. Houston gets out of his way. Nice job by Houston. By 1.3 off in sector 2, so we lost a little bit of time somewhere. Quickly coming up on some lap traffic again. Ooh, a bevy of traffic up ahead of him. So they're not going to help his chances there as Rowley gets out of his way. What Kirkbride can do here if he can improve at all. He does, up to 6, but certainly looks like he could do better considering the traffic he came upon there near the end of that lap. Jake Feemster in 9th. Jumps ahead of John Houston in the standings here. Kevin Miller running in 11th. Chris Moses carrying 30 kilograms of ballast, winner last week at Imola. Languishing a bit here, back in 12th. Ian Jolicoeur making his first start this season for Kung Fu Racing, currently in 13th. Ryan Robbins back in 14th. Mike Monahan running there in 15th. Dale Ballweg in 16th. Ryan Story tapping a wall, running in 17th. Chris Moses who sets his personal best 24.9. Sam Rolfe make our way down the list here in 18th. Parsons looks like he's got a good lap going behind 9/10 in sector 2. He's really good in the first sector, but losing a bunch of time there in the second split. That weight, no doubt, having its effect. But is Parsons able to improve? He does improve his time, but not his position. So back to the running order here. Got Douglas back there in 19th as Adamson is up big. Here, 3/10 up in the first sector. Adamson has really nailed the qualifying runs here in this car. We're coming up on some traffic for Adamson. This is not gonna help his time here. Oh, he's still up in the second sector. Making his way around the swimming pool area, the piscine. Adamson around the final corner. Is he able to improve his time? He does. Wow, 21.7. That's going to be a tough time to beat. These guys are nowhere close to Adamson's lap here. He has really got this place figured out. Very impressive, and he's still on it here. Adamson putting on a clinic here in this qualifying session around Monaco. Down to 10th in the first sector. Just over 12 minutes to go in this session. It is Andrew Adamson who we're on board with now, laying down the law here in this qualifying session. Up in the second sector. His teammate just ahead of him. Not going to be an issue here. He's far enough ahead not to slow him down. Let's see a new fast lap here for Adamson as he comes to the line. Yep, 21.4. Just incredible pace here from Adamson. Wow. Unbelievable. And I haven't even seen anybody come close to Adamson's sector times except for Parsons in sector 1. Everybody else seems to be lagging a bit here around this place. Peter Burke, 1.6 off in sector 2. Big slide there from Burke. Does improve his time, so good enough for 9 for Peter Burke. Let's see, Joel Ekman currently in 20th. Scored a couple points, I believe, last week in his debut at Imola. He's back again here for the probably the biggest test of the season for these guys around this place. Monaco, it's going to be a very difficult circuit, but Ekman currently in 20th. Chuck Carter on an outlap there in 21st. Trasko, got a couple guys serving some penalties here. Trasko, Rally, he is out on track, but I know Wathan and I believe Chandler is also serving a penalty here. So Matt Taylor now just 1/10 off of Adamson's time in the first sector. Only, carrying a little too much speed there, taps the wall. Gonna no doubt affect his time, but only half a second off in the second split. As Taylor ping-ponging off the walls here. Got a chance, we'll talk to Brad Maris if we can find him here on track. Let's see. Pull it in. Let's see what Brad has to say. He's letting some traffic by. It said his best lap was a 25.2. Yep. He's currently in 12th. So my co-host here representing NHEP TV, currently in 12th on a flyer. Jump on board with Brad. Carrying 20 kilograms of ballast here for missing the first 3 races. Even though we're actually here, we didn't take part in the start. I've been lobbying for a rule to allow the broadcasters to not have to carry weight since they're in here every week, but consistently falls on deaf ears. So meanwhile, Brad Maris making his way through the Piscine complex. Ooh, he might have had a little contact with the wall. So Maris to the line. 24.8. Let's see, where's that put Brad? Oh, remains in 12th. Let's bring him in here. Brad Maris, you copy? Brad, you there, buddy? That does not look like Brad can hear me. Brad, 10-4, copy. Oh, looks like that's not going to happen. But Brad looking pretty good here tonight in 12th. Meanwhile, Parsons again, even through the first sector. But certainly losing a considerable amount of time there through the second split. 1.2 down as Canola now has jumped up to 3rd, bumping Parsons back a spot. Canola once again looking racy, but the story again is Adamson, 1.5 seconds quicker than his closest competitor here, Taylor, in 2nd. Parsons does improve, so he takes that spot back from Canola with a 23 flat. Matt Taylor with a 22.9. John Houston now has moved up the pecking order here. He is currently in 5th. 2.3 seconds off the pace. Zavo up to 6. Moses back there in 7th. Moses about to start a flying lap. Very tricky pit exit here. These guys trying to stay as tight to the wall as possible coming out of the pit lane. We saw a huge wreck last season around this place with a guy coming out of the pit lanes. I believe it was Feimster. Moses taps the wall. And I believe the other, I think it was Graciox, who really clobbered Feimster around while he was coming out of the pit lane. Very vicious wreck. But some of these guys are going to have to keep an eye out for as Moses 6/10 off in the first sector. No doubt that wall contact not helping his chances here. Kirkbride, meanwhile, he has jumped up the list. He is now in 5th. So Kirkbride, another guy carrying some weight here tonight. He has found his sea legs, it seems, and or perhaps he's just found some open track here, as he was bogged down last time we were following him. Kirkbride only 1 second off in the second split, so coming up again on some lap traffic. This could be a good lap for Kirkbride if he can nail this final sector. It could be a Rowdy Burns Racing Team 1-2. Greg Myers out of the way. This is a nice looking lap here for Kirkbride. Oh! Oh, he got it wrong, putting the power down there, exiting the final corner. That could have been a second row start for Kirkbride. That's unfortunate. Well, Szabo just 1.3 off the second in the second split. Ooh, Szabo gets it wrong, filling in for an absent Jack Ivy. Checking the live map here. Brad Maris remains in 12th. Have to go back and forth here to the live timing to see where Brad is on track. Still in the 12th spot. Kevin Miller bit off in sector 2. This is it's part of the track where these guys are really struggling compared to Adamson. Not much green popping up here on the screen as Adamson is just crushing everybody in every sector. So Miller, he does move up a spot, I believe. Mike Monahan back there in 13th. His teammate Jake Feimster really putting on a good run here. Currently in the top 10. Jake about to start a flyer here, our Thursday night broadcaster. Ooh! A little too hot into 1 for Jake. Oh, the guy we haven't talked about too much, Ian Joe LaCour. Well, back there in 14th. This is Joe LaCour's first run here this season. He's been his personal life getting in the way here a bit on Monday, but been running so far as run every race here on Thursday, but this is his first running here on Monday. Currently back in 14th. He generally finishes strong in these qualifying sessions. Back there in 14th, but get the feeling he's going to figure this thing out with only a minute and a half here. This could be a good lap for Joe LaCour if he gets it right. Meanwhile, Taylor resets his personal best 22.5. Oh, Joe LaCour's got it. I didn't realize how much time was up. Just over a minute to go here. Parson starting his flying lap up to 3rd. Yeah, Ian's got to get on it. Oh, he's up. Ian back into the pit lane. Parsons well off there in the first sector. Sam Rolfe well off there in Sector 1. So Adamson has parked it. His teammate, meanwhile, Kirkbride, 6/10 off in Sector 1. Houston 5/10 off. Right, looks like he's right behind Kirkbride on track. Kirkbride 1.4 off in Sector 2. Good jump up here. Looking pretty tidy through the Piscine complex. Houston almost an identical time to Kirkbride, right behind him. And oh, Kirkbride, I heard the tire screech, so he's done. He's going to park it. Meanwhile, Houston, chance to jump up ahead of Kirkbride and Canola here as they come to the line, or as he comes to the line. It's going to be Houston. 23.6. Does he move up? No. No, he improves his time, but is not going to improve his position. Oh, looks like Parsons was on a still. The session is over. Looks like Jolicoeur might have gotten in the way of Parsons there. Not sure if Jolicoeur was on a flying lap or not, but Parsons 1.2 off in Sector 2. Going to have a really nice final sector here to pick up that second position. A few guys jumping in and out of the server here. Not sure what's going on, but hopefully we not having any technical difficulties. Meanwhile, my broadcast partner Brad has jumped up to 11. Parsons, no improvement. Looks like that's going to do it in this session. That's it. Wow, so Andrew Adamson with an outstanding qualifying performance here, taking pole with a 1:21.4. Matt Taylor behind him in second, 1.1 seconds off the leader. Parsons to third with 45 kilograms of ballast. That's a pretty remarkable time for Parsons. As let's see, Brad, you copy? Yeah, it does not look like Maris is going to be available to us this week, this evening, unfortunately. So these guys getting their instructions before we go green. Here is going to be a 6-minute wait period before countdown to the race before we go green, and then the action begins. So it's going to take a quick look at the standings here so far this season. It's early on, but only 3 races in the books. But it is Chris Moses currently leading the Drivers' Championship with 65 points. Parsons only 2 points back of Moses with 63. Matt Taylor in third with 53 points. Andrew Adamson in fourth with now 48 points after getting pole here tonight. And John Houston in fifth with 39. Team championship, it is PMR, Matt Taylor. Oh, okay. Matt Taylor and Chris Moses, 118. T-Brock Dam Bam in second with 102. That is John Houston and Aaron Parsons. Roddy Burns Racing Team in third with 85 points. Kirkbride and Adamson. KT Racing, that's Canola and Kevin Lemansky in fourth with 41 points. And the Taxi Service in fifth with 35 points. Sam Rolfe and Greg Myers. Okay, Brad, so can you hear me now?
Yeah, I've got you. I've been trying to respond to you there, Al. Sorry about that. Yeah,
no
how's it going up there?
No, nice. What'd you qualify in 11th? How's the car feeling, and what's your strategy going into the race tonight?
The car felt a lot better than the laps that I got to try to get one in. Had one or two clean ones, kind of messed both of those up. Other than that, those are the only two clean ones I saw. So 12th on the grid's going to have to be good enough.
Now, going into the race, are you aiming for a 1 or a 2-stop strategy?
I'm going for a 2-stop strategy. I figure, the odds are too easy to pick up little bits of damage here or there, so just go ahead and come on in and make it 2 stops. It's a turtle versus hare as far as I'm concerned tonight, and hopefully this tortoise doesn't get run over by a big 1,000 horsepower Lotus.
Well, do us all well here representing GPTV, and bring the car home in one piece. These things are expensive.
I'm going to give it a shot.
All right.
I'll give it a shot, Al.
All right. Good luck, buddy.
Yep.
All right. There you have it. Brad Maris reporting from the pit lane. So, yeah, as you expected, I believe some of these, most of the field will be running a 2-stop strategy. We've seen some guys in this season, Peter Burke especially, has been running 1-stops, but I think most of the field will be on a 2-stopper. Just quick reference, last season, we ran here in the Ferrari 312. The best time in the race was a 35.8, so he's going to be about 10 seconds quicker in these 98Ts. Luis Nieto taking the win last season with his teammate Ronnie Nunez behind him in second. Moses finished third. Only 3 cars finished on the lead lap. Compare that to 86. Alain Prost took the win here. Only 4 cars finished on the lead lap. KK Rosberg finished second. So hopefully we get a few more guys on the lead lap here tonight. It's no doubt a difficult task for these guys. And, the goal for some of these guys is to bring it home in one piece, try to finish in the points here and come away with salvage some points. But we got some time here. We're going to take a look at the starting grid here for tonight. Just bring that up. So yeah, Andrew Adamson's going to be starting from pole in first, followed by Matt Taylor in the second position. Aaron Parsons will be starting from the 3rd spot. With all that weight, it's going to be interesting to see how he performs here tonight as the stint goes later on in the stints, I should say, with that weight. Tiago Canola, nice qualifying position there in 4th. Kevin Kirkbride's going to start 5th. John Houston in 6th. Peter Szabo, nice showing here in 7th. Jake Feimster, another great qualifying run for him. He's going to be starting in 8th. Chris Moses back there in 9th. Greg Myers starting in the top 10 in the 10th spot. It's going to be Peter Burke in 11th. Brad Maris is going to start 12th. Kevin Miller in 13th. Mike Monahan in 14th. Ian Jolicoeur is going to start 15th. Ryan Robbins 16th. Sam Rolfe in 17th. Dale Ballweg is going to start 18th. Joel Ekman in 9th. He changed his name on me. It was Joel last week. Now it's Joe. It's 19th. David Rowley's going to start in 20th. Brian Story 21st. Gup Douglas 22nd. Chuck Carter 23rd. 24th is going to be Tom Traskell. Mascarelli's 25th. Curtis Chandler 26th. And Wathen's going to be starting in 27th. So we just got about 20 seconds before we go green. It's a matter of survival for these guys. A lot of pressure on Adamson. If he can get a clean start here, he should be good to go, as his pace is going to be tough to match here in the race condition. But the lights have come on. We're about to go green from Monaco. We're away. Nice start from Adamson as he's going to lead the field into turn 1. Like most of the guys get through turn 1 okay. Main thing is keeping it off the wall here in the early goings. Ooh, I think Adamson might have came close there. Canola, Parsons, Houston, Jake with a nice start. Kirkbride looks like he's dropped a couple positions. field, making their way around into the tunnel for the first time. Adamson continues to lead the field here. Matt Taylor trying to hang on to the back of him, but looks like Adamson's slowly starting to pull away here. Meanwhile, Jake Feepster all over the back of John Houston in the early goings here. Feepster has moved up to 6th. Nice start from him. Talked about Kirkbride. He dropped a couple positions there at the start, but it looks like most of the field has gone through okay. Continues to lead. Taylor actually doing a very nice job hanging on to the back of Adamson, not letting him pull away. No surprise here. Ooh, big moment there. That could have been very bad for Taylor as he got a little sideways. That's going to give, as Mara says, looks like he's disconnected from the server. Not sure what happened there. But Taylor with a little bit of a bobble has given Adamson some breathing room. Canola in the 3rd spot. Under a lot of pressure from Aaron Parsons. Further back, looks like Zabo run into, actually no, he's around where he started. Currently in 9th, just ahead of Chris Moses on track. But really tight battle here between Canola, Parsons, Houston, and Jake Feepster. Very nice start from Jake. So I failed to mention the distance tonight, 51 laps. 170-kilometer race according to FIA rules. That's the max distance that Formula One runs around Monaco. Very close battle here to start this race between the top, between positions 3 through 6. Feepster doing a very nice job on the tail end of this little pack. He had actually a very nice run last season around here, so good on him. Meanwhile, Peter Zabo all over the back of Greg Myers. Chris Moses has caught up to these guys. But historically, as everybody knows, this track very difficult to pass at. Best attempt's going to be coming up here into the chicane here. Chris Moses, had a bit of a lift there. He's not going to be close enough to make a move on Zabo. Well, Zabo putting a boatload of pressure on Greg Myers. So it looks like both Zabo and Moses have some pace on Greg Myers in the early going. It looks like Zabo's desperate to get around Greg Myers. Canola on this. It looks like. It looked like Zabo had a bit of a moment. He did. Oh, Brad's in the house. Brad, what happened?
Lost force feedback, Al. I didn't see your mic lighting up. I wasn't sure if you were muted or not.
Oh, no, I was just not hitting control because I got nobody to talk to. But now I do.
Yeah, well, I left the server because I just made a boneheaded mistake. I'm trying not to get in anybody's way and find a safe place to pull off. So, yeah, no force feedback. That, let me tell you something right now, Al, is a bummer because I had a pretty darn good race car. Had pretty good race pace.
Oh, that's a shame. Well, it's great to have you back here in the booth. That's for sure.
Yeah, well, I will help out as I can, but it'll take me a second to get back to the server.
No problem. But meanwhile, as we look a little further up here, Canola feeling the heat from Parsons. Meanwhile, up front, Adamson has jumped to a 2.5 second lead over Taylor after Taylor made that little bobble, but Canola really under a lot of pressure here. I haven't seen any retirements as of yet, so that's good going. We're only, aside from Brad, but that's not due to any kind of accident or anything like that. That's a technical issue, but these guys remain. Oh, Mascarelli out, just as I mentioned it. Mascarelli. Oh, as Houston pounds the wall at the exit of turn one. Parsons, ooh, had a look on Canola. Canola wants nothing to do with that. Very close. Ooh, as Parsons does the same thing Taylor did, but did a better job than Taylor hanging on to that spin.
So already I would have picked up at least 2 positions is what you're saying.
I am saying that, yes. A little further back. Jake Feemster continues to run in that 6th spot. Kirkbride now has closed up to this battle. Greg Myers, Zabo, and Moses, these 3 are still going at it here. Not much has changed between these 3 as positions remain static. A little further back, Kevin Miller running in 11th, Monahan in 12th. He's got Peter Burke all over him. So we have battles brewing all over this place. We continue to watch this battle for third. Sorry, Brad, go ahead.
Yep, the start did look pretty clean from my perspective anyway, from around the 12th position, so guys were getting through there pretty carefully. Cracked windshield.
Yeah, Joe LaCour back in 17th. He's going in for service. He got some damage to that car. But man, what a run here. That's for third. Canola. Can't believe I'm saying it, but it looks like Canola is really holding up these guys. The guys behind him have pace over Tiago. So lead up front has increased to 2.8 seconds between Adamson and Taylor.
It might not be so surprising that Canola might be holding these guys up a little bit. If anybody's going to one-stop this race, it's going to be Tiago. And I tell you, that added fuel and having to be careful on the tires to preserve them will make a difference in time.
That's a great point, actually. I neglected to look at the tire option. Canola on the mediums. So everybody around him on the softs. Canola running on the medium tire here, so not going to have the same pace as the softs. As looks like Rally coming out of the pit lane for some early service. But that explains a lot, Brad. Canola on the medium tires.
Boy, and that is just exactly what Taylor and Adamson needed up front, eh?
Taking a look at the lap times. Adamson with fast lap of the race of a 25 flat. Taylor only 4/10 off of Adamson's best lap, as Joe LaCour looks like he's put it into the wall again, so he's having some issues. But 27.3 best for Canola, 2 seconds off Adamson's best.
It's so early here in this race. If you're Adamson and Taylor now, you're thinking, boy, this could very well be a two-way fight. But these guys have been pushing for time, and it's a long slog from this way to try to actually push this track lap after lap after lap. So I don't know what those guys are going to do up front to finish this one off, but they're going to have to be careful.
And I am very impressed with Jake Feemster's performance here in the early going. I don't know if you recall, Brad, last season he had a fantastic run around here before he got slotted, exiting the pit lane, but he's having a good showing here.
Boy, those mediums really...
Go ahead.
Yeah, really holding up those guys behind, obviously. In the 27s, now if he can get down in the 26s, that's not going to be too bad, but he's not going to want to wait too long, his count before he does start to turn 26s. my night now. It's their night.
Taking a look further back, looks like Moses. Yep, he's got some damage to the front of his Lotus, as that battle between Zabo, Myers, and Moses has gone away. It's now Zabo ahead of Greg Myers, up to 8th. And now Kevin Miller has latched onto the back of Greg Myers. And Miller now running in 10th. Monahan up to 11th, with Moses dropping a few positions after his incident that we failed to see. Wathen is done. So hack it up,
boy. So yeah, best lap Adamson there with that 25.2. And Matt Taylor at that 25.2 as well, so just about matching best lap pace. But boy, that is getting along with the program here in the early going. Already, Al, it looks like these drivers have really settled into a race against the track. Notwithstanding that battle we have building behind Tiago Canola, but the rest of them look content, even if they're sitting behind. I'm watching that Miller-Myers battle there over 9th, and they are pretty cautious here in early going.
You're gonna look further back up. Douglas under some pressure here from Joel Ekman. Douglas had a very short debut last week at Imola. I don't think he made it to turn 1 before he got taken out. But making it a little further in this run here, 9 laps deep, currently in 17th. Meanwhile, a little further up, Adamson is starting to drop some time to Taylor. Oh, briefly, but that gap looks like it's going back up slightly, about 2.8 seconds.
Yeah, new best lap for Adamson there on that last lap, now 25.1.
So these guys are going to want, if they're going to two-stop it, the magic number here is 17. But if you're Parsons, you gotta see at this point, Canola is on a one-stopper. Do you jump in a little early and risk being mired in some traffic? You come out of the pits, it's a tough situation, as Canola trying to make his way around. Looks like Curtis Chandler, who's gone a lap down here.
Well, another problem with some of those strategy questions these drivers might have is how do you consider your options? I mean, let me tell you something. It is difficult to keep the car off the Armco around this place, let alone trying to figure out, okay, well, I can come in on this lap, take this much fuel, and take it this much longer. But yeah, if you're Aaron Parsons, maybe you start thinking about that a little bit.
As Jake finally makes his way around Curtis does a nice job there. It's very difficult to get around people around at this place, but nice job from Curtis. Curtis having a tough start to the season here thus far. But pretty amazing. As Rally has checked out, so we're starting to see a bit of the attrition. Kind of the usual suspects there. Oh, as Parsons has a look. Oh, some contact between Parsons and Canola.
Oh, I think he got a little squeeze.
Oh, no, Houston and Canola. Big wreck for Canola. Wow. Unbelievable.
So there's 2 more spots.
Canola somehow has life in that engine after getting tossed around. Parsons,
I tell you, that windshield's not cracked. The steering wheel's off, though.
Yeah, that he's going to have to come in. But time to opt for the two-stop for Canola. But unbelievably bold move by Parsons had a run on him going into turn 1, and Houston tried to take advantage there, and don't think Canola really had anywhere to go there going up the hill when Houston and Canola touched. That was a big impact. It doesn't look like it's hurt Houston all that much. Meanwhile, Jake Feemster up to 4th, Brett.
Yeah, so looking sharp once again. Can he exercise those demons from last season? Time will tell, but for now, things are looking great.
It looks like Taylor might have had a problem. He is now 5 seconds off of Adamson's, Andrew Adamson, who was in the lead. But Jake Feemster now under some pressure here from Kirkbride. These guys have been running nose to tail for quite some time. But I'll tell you what, the door's open for these two to move up, as in one lap they've picked up a couple spots with Parsons and Canola having that incident. Man.
Yeah, well, that Canola strategy of a one-stopper, or I don't know, maybe he didn't plan on even changing tires. The tire wear around here is actually not that bad. You know, some guys are talking about maybe stretching the softs to one stop. So, yeah, I don't know about that decision to run the mediums, but yeah, I think Aaron Parsons had pretty clearly established what he was going to do.
Greg Myers continues to lead Kevin Miller. We picked this up several laps ago, and nothing has changed here. Chris Moses, who we're on board with now, has caught up to these guys. Oh, Miller! Well, spoke too soon. So Miller, this gave away that 8th spot to, as Curtis Chandler's facing nose deep into the wall. But it's now Greg Myers and Moses all alone, 7th and 8th.
Boy, that racing against the track, trying to just be super consistent, super careful, that lasted for about 8 laps.
Sam Rolfe in 12th with Ryan Robbins. Just behind him in 13th. So these guys having a decent run. It looks like, did Parsons come in, or did he, I'm going to have to look at the, Kevin Miller's out.
Yeah, Kevin Miller took it hard into the wall at turn 1 after his spin there in the 3rd sector, so he decided to call it.
So it looks like Parsons has come into the pit lane and has gotten served.
I believe he has. Yeah, I believe he has. He knows that he's going to be able to pick up more positions probably with the undamaged car, assuming he doesn't make more mistakes from here. So Taylor, best lap now, 24.3. Really taking it low here, Matt Taylor. So he's decided to go ahead and push the limits a little bit.
Yeah, we haven't talked about the turbo option here, but could be that Taylor is trying to close up that gap to Adamson. If you're new to watching these cars, in '86 had a push to pass, I guess you call it, button. And it's a nice you can increase the turbos in these cars.
You know,
really pick up some speed.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. You know, that pace by Taylor may not be completely turbo enabled. You know, he has had very good pace, some of the best in our week of practice. So it's hard to say how much he is being turbo aided with that low 24. The question is, you know, how much do you push? And that really is the question. That's a big part of the equation here for running this race, part of the strategy. Because, you know, if you push, at some point you're going to make some mistakes. And maybe they're small mistakes. Maybe you only pick up small damage on the splitter or something. But, you know, it adds up.
Yeah, so Adamson and Taylor were a couple laps here trading fast laps. So Adamson now closing up on Aaron Parsons. It's like Parsons he's the last guy. Oh, Taylor, did he make a mistake? He did. He's got it turned around at the hairpin. So, man, this this
Yeah,
race
well-
is really opening up here for Adamson. At this point, it just may be a matter of bringing it home here and keeping it off the barriers for him. Looking good for a win here for Adamson here early on.
Well, it is early, so a lot of laps. These guys on the two-stopper will be coming in for their first stop coming up soon, but now it's on Adamson, and now he's got to drive the track. You know, obviously he's going to shut it down a little bit, but that can affect you adversely too. You have to keep some type of minimum speed, or else that throws you off your groove as well.
So Chris Moses in the pits.
Yeah, when I have a moment, I do want to talk a little bit about getting in some extra practicing around here, and the option to run 4 gears for some of these guys, and it can be a little tricky running that first gear. I know that if you keep it within a particular boost range, it can really actually help you aid in traction, but man, it's difficult running first gear out of some of these corners.
So Kirkbride, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just wondering over the week of practice and watching some of these guys how effective that strategy is going to be for them, you know, and trying to keep things consistent.
So pit lane is busy as Houston just dives in. Zabo now has moved up to the 5th spot. Kirkbride has gotten around Jake Feemster. Feemster remains in 4th, just not far off of Kirkbride. Kirkbride now closing up on Tiago Canola, who has come in and has had the car repaired and is now, I believe he has, Tiago Canola remains on the medium tires, bro.
Interesting. Well, I think if you're Tiago Canola, he may have just completely stuffed the tank and he's going to try to make it to the end. He's had plenty of laps in practice, so he knows what the car is going to do and what it's capable of, and I don't see any reason why the medium shouldn't hold up till the end from this point.
So Taylor in the pits. Adamson has yet to pit, so some of the guys opted to come in early, some staying out late.
Taylor is in and away.
Kirkbride stays out, as does Jake and Zabo. So Taylor comes out.
It's Adamson.
Just about 3 seconds exactly ahead of Kirkbride. Kirkbride has yet to start.
I was going to say it's Adamson now who has thrown his hat into the 24-second range ring, so 24.9. So he's starting to feel like he can get a little extra push out of this Monaco track tonight.
Adamson in, so all eyes on Taylor to see where he comes, if he was able to make up any time on Adamson.
Yeah, that gap around 8 seconds when Taylor came in for that stop, so I guess we'll see. Hopefully Taylor doesn't have another of his pit stop bugs where he's held in the pits for no reason. Happened to him last week at Imola.
Yeah, he's had some issues there. So Adamson is away. Taylor has yet to come onto the main straight, so Adamson's going to hang on to that lead. And he's actually picked up some time on Taylor, it seems. Gap's about the same, 8.2 seconds, so yeah, not much gained or lost there between those two.
Well, we've lost a few drivers now. A few pilots have gone out of this race. There's a little extra room out there. Well, if these drivers now can hit the pit stops, they can hit the reset button and go, okay, wait a minute, what was I trying to do around here? Oh, that's right. I was trying to not get in any racing, trying to just run laps around here and keep it safe. So
Mike Monahan hasn't turned around. A very close battle here between Zabo, Jake, Kirkbride looks like he's starting to pull away slightly over these two as Jake might be doing a little mirror racing here. Zabo all over the back of him.
Yeah, and we have a bit of a championship story brewing here with a couple of the contenders. Aaron Parsons and Chris Moses now running 8th and 9th.
Oh, Jake just gets it wrong. Exiting the chicane. Oh, hopefully he's nearing his pit window here. It shouldn't take too long. Go ahead, Brad. Sorry.
Yeah, Moses and Parsons now running just a couple seconds apart. And so this is a battle with championship implications. And if you're Moses, you know, maybe you're thinking that Parsons was a bit out of reach, but with his Parsons mishap, it has put Moses within range of him now.
Yeah, that's a good point considering where Parsons was in relation to Moses. Now that this, if they would have finished where they are now, it's only 1 point advantage for. 1 point that Parsons picks up on Moses here in the championship. So Kirkbride in the pits, as is Jake, and Zabo stays out now, running in third. Kirkbride away, Jake pulling out of the pits now. Chuck Carter in the pit lane also. Parsons now starting to set fast laps for himself. In the 26s. Haven't looked at the time. So yeah, Parsons and Moses running similar lap times, 26.8 to Moses' 26.5. While the top two leaders are just checking out here. As Zabo is having some trouble. Didn't even notice that. I was looking at the lap times.
Oh!
But Zabo. Oh yeah, he's got some serious suspension damage.
Yeah.
Trying to bring it in here. He's not far from the pitch. He's only, he'll be all right. He's going to lose some time there as he brings it into the pits.
So Greg Myers has yet to stop, but that is going to gift Myers 3rd place as they run on track. Very interesting. Myers will be in another 6 laps.
Greg Myers, who finished 4th here last season, currently
on the
in
mediums
3rd.
As well.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like it's a definite one-stopper for Greg. Zabo out. That's too bad.
Yeah, really unfortunate. And now attrition really has started to play a toll. Boy, it was looking quite good there in the early going here, Al. I have to say, I was pretty impressed with the amount of runners still in when I joined.
Watch this battle here between the championship leaders, Parsons and Moses. Moses trying to reel Parsons in. This is for 7th and 8th. Adamson has lost some time here, Brad. I don't know if it's lap traffic or what, but that 8-second lead has now dwindled down to 4.2. Taking a look at the car, doesn't seem like it's got any damage on it, so.
Yeah, 27.5 last time by, so I don't know. Maybe coming out of the pits, just trying to get refocused, readjusted to a car that has the cold tires on it. So, yeah. But once again, if you're Houston's turned around. Once again, if you're those guys, it's how much do you push to try to gain that advantage of the other guy? You know, how confident are you at the moment? But yeah, on paper, this Parsons-Moses battle, this should be pretty close. I think Parsons. He runs obviously very well around this place, but he has more weight than Moses. This is a very close matchup. And looking at it, I think right now Moses has the upper hand in terms of speed.
Looking a little further up here, Kirkbride, after his stop, has caught up to Greg Myers pretty quickly here. This is for 3rd.
Yeah, and I think Myers will actually look for a place to let him by. I don't think he wants anything to jeopardize his strategy, especially now that he's rotated so far up the order.
Greg looking to make it 25 or 26 laps. Looks like it's in good shape. A little further back, Parsons and Moses. This battle continues to brew here as Moses. These guys starting to close up on Jake. Only 3 seconds off of Jake Feemster, so nice recovery from Parsons and Moses. We didn't see what happened to Moses, but he did have some damage. We all witnessed what happened with Canola and Parsons, as well as Canola and John Houston. Gap remains about 5 seconds between Adamson and Taylor. Oh yeah, you're right, Brad. Greg not pushing the issue here. He lets Kirkbride pass.
Yeah, he actually had to help Kirkbride out a little bit because Kirkbride is making a few mistakes behind, and Greg had to go, okay, well, let's make it as easy as I possibly can. Yeah, very interesting here. So, but that was important for Kirkbride to get around. He's just coming off his pit stop. And wants to make hay while he can.
Kirkbride 52 seconds behind the leader, Adamson.
Boy, and you wouldn't think it's that much, so everybody except for Adamson and Taylor looks like has made some type of mistake. Is that incorrect?
Yeah, looks like everybody, aside for Adamson, Taylor, and I believe Greg.
Yeah, well, in terms of guys, yeah, on two stoppers, yeah. Wish this first, yeah, first time I've had this real, not have force. I don't even know how to check for it on the grid, so I have no idea.
Ooh, we just picked up this Curtis Chandler and Chuck Carter. Chandler's got some issues there to the front of that car as Carter was closing up on Curtis. But now Feemster is starting to lose some time here to Parsons and Moses. Jake, yep, definitely has some damage to the front of his Lotus.
Exactly the point I was going to make. This is battle for 6 between Parsons and Moses. Soon become a three-way battle here over 5th, I believe.
Greg Myers has about 6-7 seconds up over Jake. But that window about to open up here for Greg. Oh yeah, these guys quickly reeling in Jake. Greg's going to stay out. Now, Brad, we'll have to see if Greg, after these guys pit for their second stop, should Kirkbride be behind Myers again if Greg's going to be as cordial next time around?
Yeah, hard to say. I mean, Greg's pretty savvy. He's going to know that that he'll have another stop yet to make. But yeah, maybe you do give it a couple extra laps to make him wait behind you, just in case. Boy, well, we've seen Feemster in the past maybe been off pace a little bit, not give much room or much latitude to faster guys behind. So I don't see why we wouldn't see that here as well. And not that it should. They're all in the same strategy as far as I know. So Moses now picking up some cracked windshield damage.
Yeah, of the three, Parsons is the only one that has a straight front wing.
watching that Taylor. He is still continuing to get frisky. He's at least holding that gap, isn't he? Boy, those two guys up front. I'm telling you right now, they are driving hard. That gap is 4 seconds, but I can tell you right now, in their minds, it might as well be 4/10.
Taylor carrying a little bit more weight than Adamson. Adamson not carrying any. Taylor carrying 15 kilograms as Adamson just makes his way past, I believe that's Mike Monahan. Gap, looks like that might have slowed Adamson down slightly. That gap now 3.5 seconds between Adamson and Taylor. This could come down to the wire here, Brad.
Yeah, well, it's halfway through this event, lap 26, so Greg should be in any time. But it's the same thing as always. These guys are churning over and over again, trying to figure out how much they can push. How are you feeling? Are the tires holding up okay? Am I seeing straight enough to take those small chances? The small chances make such a difference in terms of lap pay. But those are the ones that bite you.
Right on board with Chris Moses here as closest battle on track. It's Moses, Parsons up ahead, and Feemster up ahead of Parsons, very close.
Yeah, and Feemster's lap time's actually not too bad in the mid-27 range. That's nothing to sneeze at, even with that damage. So it's not like he's so off pace. These guys can go ahead and just bump it up to 100% on the turbo and expect to rocket by.
Brad, how hard was it to get around the hairpin there?
If you have force feedback, if you don't lose it suddenly, it's not too bad. Yeah, had some weird effects trying to get through it there without it, but no, it's okay. If you got your practice in, you're all right.
I know some guys increase their rotation in the wheels to get around that thing.
Yeah, standard wheel rotation for me was okay. Just you have to get it in the right spot, and so when you do that, you'll be all right.
Okay, so Greg Myers in on lap 27. Let's see what about Peter Burke here. I don't believe Burke has pitted yet. Oh, I think he actually has. 17, yeah. So Burke looks like he's on a two-stopper.
Yeah, I think Myers should be okay if he gets there. He goes. Yeah, Myers. Yeah, I think he'll be okay for 9th. So that's a pretty good position if you're Greg Myers right now.
He's away, and guys up in front of him still need to make their final stop. Lap 34, we expect these guys to start coming in for their second stop.
Yeah, 38s for Myers. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough because that's quite a bit of lap pace that he's given up to two stoppers over a second a lap. But hey, puts him in off strategy with a chance.
Looks like Jake picked up a little bit of time on Parsons and Moses. Up front, actually, Adamson not far off of that battle. Taylor make a mistake. They have lost about a half a second to Adamson. As Adamson now resets fast lap of the race with a 24 flat.
Wow. Well, I was gonna say it's weird the gap was still there, because actually Taylor has been running more consistent, faster laps than him, lap by, whoa, here. Oh, Moses going for,
What happened there with Phoebes? So we just picked it up.
yeah, I missed it. But anyway, Moses is through, and Parsons as well. Shoot, sorry, I had clicked off it myself.
Oh, interesting turn of events there as Parsons and Moses get past Jake. So Jake might have had a lock up there going into the hairpin, and oh, Jake's got suspension damage. Oh, he's got serious damage. But you know what? For Jake, it's not too bad. He's going to be coming into the pits, and he's relatively close to his pit window, so he can put some extra fuel on it. He'll more than likely make it to the end as Houston gets past. Tough situation for Jake, so he brings it into the pit lane.
Yeah, a good pickup of position there if you're John Houston right now too, because he was pretty far back there to start this race, and so now to be back up into the 6th position, that is a pretty nice advance from where he started from. So yeah, he's in this fight really. Look, Kirkbride to Houston, that the gaps are much closer than they appear because of damage or a small mistake. But it's Adamson now looking to put that John Houston 6th position a lap down here at this point.
Yeah, he makes it happen. Adamson puts Houston down a lap. Got a little demoralizing for Houston.
Yeah, it is, but again, it's about the positions in front of you if you're John Hughes at this point, and actually those positions are not that far in front.
The race has historically been one of our longer races of the season. This season went about an hour and 15.
For drivers and broadcasters, has to be said.
But we've got some action here late in this one, so. And we got guys driving, so that's a good sign.
Yeah, still a relatively robust field. I mean, look, it can go either way at this event, right? So. Showing on the scoring pylon are on track and running.
Currently 4 cars on the lead lap as Adamson is not far off of Moses now and Parsons. Man, what a duel these guys have been having this second stint.
Oh, and I think that is a fight, Cub Douglas is. Yeah, no, it's not a direct fight.
Parsons dives into the pits. So I was just going to mention, Parsons did pit a little earlier than the rest of the field, as did Moses, but Moses has stayed out this time by. Oh, God. Was that Cub Douglas? Okay, Cub's away. I thought he might have had an incident. Oh, checking the steering column straight. Taylor gets past, so. Parsons out now. Away. Ooh, nearly gets it into the wall. It's into the pit lane.
Oh boy, here we go. Adamson, 3 straight laps at 24.7, and of course that 24 flat before that. So 4 straight laps here in the 24s, and he's feeling it, but I just hope he's not over feeling it.
may drive into the pits this time by. Oh, I think he just bit. Yeah, he brought it into the wall there, Brad. See, didn't like it anyway.
Oh, did he?
Oh, no, I think he managed not to hit the wall. It was close.
Yeah. Yeah, I was on board at the time, kind of suspecting something could happen here. you take your chances, and one of them's going to bite you. You can only run so many fast laps.
So Taylor in the pits. He opts to come in early.
Yeah, I like that move. He is coming in a little early.
Taylor,
yeah, 34, not...
Away. He's got open track up ahead. And he pounded into the wall.
Dings it. Oh, that is the worst.
That is not good. Well, we saw Pereth a couple weeks ago when Adamson... Oh, it's Moses! Stuffs it into the wall. Uncharacteristic mistake there from Moses. But we saw a couple weeks ago at Pereth when Kirkbride and Adamson, after their first stop, took it immediately into the sand. That's a tough fight.
Well, here we are. Speaking of Adamson and Kirkbride now running 1 and 3, and this would, this would go a long way to a big shot in the arm for those guys. After they're, we talked them up, and here they are making mistakes, falling back. But what a golden opportunity for this team now.
Adamson in. Moses is in. Houston has stayed out. Kirkbride up to third. Meanwhile, Greg Myers running in seventh.
Now that gap, 4 seconds, first to second, thereabouts. 4 to 5.
Taylor. Oh, Monahan. Struggles continue. That gap is now 3 seconds.
Taylor barely squeaked by Monahan.
So Taylor actually picks up some time on Adamson there after that pit stop.
Yeah, if he only has a yellow damage on the front wing, he'll be okay. He can still maintain pace. If it's more than that, then he's in a bit of trouble.
Yeah, his front wing looks pretty straight as Adamson has some lap traffic ahead of him. As Monahan pulls the chute. Taylor now take advantage of the turbo, try and pick up some time here on Adamson, gap 3.4 seconds.
Yeah, probably. Yep, I would think so.
16 laps to go. Lap 34. Myers comes out, after stops. Moses in 7th, just ahead of Moses. Has damage again. So I don't know, either he took damage exiting the pits or didn't fix it. I mean, nonetheless, Greg is ahead of him on track. Greg on a one-stopper on the mediums. You can tell the pace difference between the two. Greg's not going to put up a fight there.
Yeah, too bad to see that damage on the Myers machine, but still holding very strong in 6th. This is good news, though, if you are John Houston. Not too far behind Gregory Myers. He definitely wants to pick back up that 6th position. is, and Canola is rotated back up into the 8th position.
Oh, Peter
Oh,
Burke
Burke
taking
done.
his, I think that's his first DNF of the season.
Boy, he's looked sharp this season, hasn't he, Al?
Yeah, he certainly has. It's unfortunate for Peter.
Let's see, due to being a little discombobulated here, I don't have all my stats up in front of me, so, but or else I'd look up his results.
Yeah, Houston now putting the heat on Greg Myers. Greg's got some damage. Houston gets passed.
Yeah, I was not sure Greg was going to be as kind in that particular situation, but he was.
Houston looks like he's got a clean car. He's going to have Moses in his sights here. Time on Taylor. The gap is now 5 seconds.
Yeah, Moses last lap by at 28 doesn't necessarily mean anything. 27.3 now, as it was really his first out lap.
So, in regards to the competition index, we had. After round 3, we had 4 drivers who had completed every lap so far this season. Looks like it's going to come down to 2, Adamson and Taylor. After tonight, that's both Parsons and Moses. 1 or 2 of the 4 that had completed every lap. Looks like they're going to wind up a lap down.
Yeah, well, things aren't decided yet. I mean, they really aren't. If Taylor does manage to close that remaining 4 seconds, then things are going to get a little bit more dicey, and those guys up front are going to have to think about pushing a little harder. Yeah, that could lead to a mistake in a quick hurry. Oh, Gup!
Gup's out. We had 27 or 28 start?
No, not 27 or 28. Like 23 or 4, right?
No. We had about 26 start. 26.
Really?
Yep, down to 14.
I'd like a redo.
Oh, 27, I think, because you're not on my list.
Wow.
Scoring list, so yeah. Down to 14. Chandler. Douglas's exit. Jolicoeur still pounding around out there, five laps down.
Yeah, and then for service of some type, why not?
Turning into a test session for Jolicoeur.
Yeah, there you go.
Myers in 7. Canola's slowly but surely starting to reel him in. Canola running in 8th. Moses now losing time here to John Houston.
Yeah, he is, and made quite a mistake there coming through the swimming pool complex that time. And that's exactly what has allowed Houston all of a sudden to catch up here.
Let's just hope Houston is not takes out. Oh man.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah.
I tell you, Houston has had a lot of trouble running wide. You know, every time I've gone on board, especially in the hairpin here where he's at now, not that time, but we're seeing John Houston really struggle and have to really lay off the throttle not to put the Onco wide.
Gap out front remains static, about 4.5 seconds between Adamson and Taylor. Adamson has just dipped into the 24s his last time by. Taylor, his last 2 laps in the 24s.
Yeah, 10 laps now, and I think Taylor is going to go ahead and try to push a little bit here consistently if he manages to hold it. But I really do expect to see that time drop a little bit. So if he does manage to get that gap to within 3 seconds or so by pushing a little extra, or maybe he won't. Actually, he might go ahead and decide, you know what? I'm going to be having to add some weight to the car here. Maybe second place is okay, but I mean, if you're running second, you always want the win. You know, you only need one position for the win, right? And so you tend to push it, you know. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see if Adamson, can respond in kind. That's what I'm looking forward to watching here over the next 5 or 6 laps.
10 laps to go here as Taylor now sets his personal best, 24.2 to Adamson's 24.5. So that Taylor is certainly pushing here. Good thing for Adamson, he's got clear track up ahead with all the attrition we've had. Lap traffic not going to be as much of an issue when he's catching up to his teammate Kirkbride in third. Wow. And Adamson lap the field up to second. Wow. Let's say, I got to say up to this point, his run has been impeccable. It has been...
I would say surprising. I'll be honest with you.
He has kept it clean, off the wall, and has maintained that pace. And it's just... Taylor behind has had a couple of wobbles here, tapping the wall. Very, very difficult to do for 41 laps so far. Hard to do for 1 lap, let alone trying to do it for 51 straight laps. Adamson now comes up on some lap traffic.
I think the thing that's most impressive about Adamson here tonight is his consistency. He has been by far the most consistent in terms of lap-to-lap pace. And that's difficult to do, and that tells me obviously he does have more in the tank, and that he's just driving to a particular time, right? But still, it's difficult to do.
Back here, Houston. He's up on Moses here, but he's not been able to make his way past. Difficult to do.
Yeah, and Moses surely won't give an inch.
Out of the way.
Yeah, I mean, well, let's look at it this way. Our top 3 teams in the drivers' classification, right? And our top 6 drivers, both involved in those two teams. They're all running 1 through 6 right at this moment on track.
Yep.
So, I don't know what more to say than that, but that's something.
Canola has now caught up to Greg Myers, and that gap has dropped to under a second here. I think these are the only two guys who ran on the mediums.
As far as I know, I think so. Canola making slightly better use of those medium tires than Greg Myers in terms of pace. But I think that this is a pass Cal Canola will have to try to earn on track, and that will be very difficult.
Moses here down through the tunnel. Yeah, that's good of an exit as you would have liked. So Adamson puts his teammate Kirkbride a lap down. Taylor has gotten past Kirkbride as well. Battles going on track. Moses and Houston, Myers and Canola. To Myers, Canola right now. Canola in the yellow trunks.
Yeah, two good battles for some very high, solid positions. Regardless of the attrition, you still finish where you finish because you've been doing something right, right?
So, Brad, you got to wonder. I mean, how much of an effect did early going in this race, Canola on the mediums, holding up that train of cars at the start of the race? How much of an impact did that have on the? It seems like
obviously
these positions on track and falling ultimately behind a lot.
At the time of the wreck, the gap was some 20 seconds to the two guys out front. So at least 20 seconds. I mean, that's pretty substantial, really. But I think you're right. It was that there was a lot more traffic around than there may otherwise have been.
Kirkbride was stuck behind Canola and the rest of the guys here early going. It's a strategy employed. He qualified well. He got up to a good start. These guys just could not. This track is just so difficult to get around. So Moses has picked up some time on Houston. So Houston might have made a little bit of a mistake.
Yeah, these are all direct fights for points. Driver points and team points. So these positions are actually pretty important. If you're John Houston, you definitely want to get past if you can. But that fight toward the front now, Al, it's looking like Taylor's just not going to have enough pace. Even trying to push, and I think maybe Taylor now has to think about shutdown mode a little bit. Make absolutely sure he finishes this one off in second. Doesn't do something stupid and pop a motor,
Yeah, I think it's cruise time here with 5 laps to go. Oh, as Adamson believed there might have been a little bit of contact there between him and Chandler. Oh, this is only going to help Taylor here. Chandler holding up Adamson here. Let's drop the gap now for 2.8 seconds. That might change things here, Brad. for if you're Taylor.
Yeah, well, no question about it. It's definitely on now, and so, you know, is there going to be a rattle effect from either one of these guys? Certainly, if you're Adamson, there could be.
Taylor passed a little bit easier than Adamson did, but that gap is now just 3 seconds between the leaders.
It's just never easy capping one of these things off. Yeah, Adamson ahead of his time on the performance delta, so he's definitely on the turbo. And still on it.
Houston's made a mistake.
Oh!
Oh, he might have some suspension damage. Yep. Seems to be that way anyway. Maybe not. Now Adamson stuck behind Chuck Carter. Chuck lets it by without issue.
Adamson being very careful there at the chicane, making absolutely sure he didn't cut it. So that makes me wonder if he's been close.
Yeah, I mean, from what I've seen, he's been running it pretty clean.
Okay.
Gap now down at 2.8. 4 laps to go.
Adamson staring that win right in the face, and I believe this would be the first one ever. Got a charging Matt Taylor behind. 3 laps to go. Oh, brushes the wall, coming off of 1. Not going to hurt him in terms of damage, I don't think. Should be just fine, but the nerves, the butterflies are going a little bit.
Adamson did take the win on Thursday night, his first ever NHEP victory. Looking to back it up here on Monday at Monaco. Probably the most difficult track we're going to run this season. It's been an impressive run up to this point, but here at the end, he's got caught up with some lap traffic and now had a brush with the wall. You see the gap on track, 2.8 seconds.
Had no problem coming there through the tunnel. Got a great exit. Plenty of turbo. So extended that gap a little bit.
Well, Taylor sees him on track now, and he's going to be on it.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, the Taylor weight is making the difference here. I just don't think he can force the issue enough with that weight.
Taylor resets his personal best lap, so he's flying 24.3 last time by for Adamson, 24.2 for Taylor.
Adamson up 0.3 on his best time at the moment. So wringing every single rev out of the engine. Playing with fire here is Adamson, but throwing caution to the wind on these last laps. Still well ahead of his best time.
Yeah, you gotta wonder if he is now making use of that turbo.
Oh yeah, no question about it. The lines are clean, looking good. Ooh, gave up some time there.
Gap's now almost 4 seconds over Taylor.
Yeah, a little little bit of breathing room, just the breathing room he needed here, I think, to be okay. I'm about to call it.
While Myers continues to hold up Canola, keeping Canola behind him. This is for battle for 7th.
Oh, Kirkbride into the pits with damage!
Oh boy. Well, it's going to move Parsons up, potentially Moses up. Yeah, Moses is going to pick up that spot, and looks like Houston's going to pick up that spot. Lap 50 of 51. This is Adamson's race to win here with just a lap and a half to go.
Boy, Kirkbride gonna give up the position to Myers as well, so out of that top 6 for Kevin Kirkbride now.
Chandler's struggles continue here. So working the final lap. Myers, oh look at Kirkbride splits Myers and Canola out of the pits. Guys are going to finish this one nose to tail.
Oh boy, tough corners yet to go, but not too many of them left for Adamson.
Tunnel for the last time. Making his way through the final corners here. The final corner for the last time. Andrew Adamson's going to take the win at Monaco. Unbelievable. Matt Taylor's going to finish in 2nd.
Oh, unbelievable.
It looks like Parsons got caught up with some lap traffic as these guys still have to finish their lap here. Looks like that might have been Chuck. Moses is going to come around. Parsons looks like he's good for 3rd. Moses 4th. Houston's going to take 5th. Myers, looks like he's gonna hold off Kirkbride and Canola here for 6th.
Yeah, nice run.
Yeah, excellent run for Greg. Tough break for Kirkbride, losing out in that podium position. It's Myers, Kirkbride, and Canola. That's gonna do it. What an end to this one. Back to the pits here. Let's see if we can talk to our winner. Andrew Adamson, do you copy?
I copy.
Man, what a run for you tonight. Just an outstanding performance here at Monaco. Dominating in qualifying, and really had a great battle there with Taylor. Didn't seem to gap Taylor as much as I was expecting, considering your qualifying pace, but you really maintained a nice 5-second lead ahead of him for most of the run. Had some struggles there near the end with some lap traffic, but managed to pull it out.
Yeah.
How's it feel?
pretty good. That was I'm like extremely tired right now, but that was a good one. Taylor, I had no idea what the gap was. It was 5 seconds the whole time. It kept switching on the real time, so I had no idea what it was. But yeah, I was scared at the end. I took a little damage for the first time during the race.
Yeah, we saw
Yeah,
that.
well,
Aside,
I think
aside from that little bump you had, I think it turned one. Really clean run for you.
Yeah. I actually took a hit before that, but the one in turn one that one got the rear arrow, and it felt a little different after that.
Yeah, well, I think that really was the difference after all is said and done, was really your consistency with the pace. So you had the pace, but you also had the very good consistency. And it was obvious that you had a little bit more in the tank if you did have to push a little bit more. But so, I mean, I only assume that part of your strategy heading into the race was just to try to go for that maximum consistency.
Yeah, I actually put too much in at the end, and that was definitely a hindrance. I had like 95 at the beginning of the last stint, and I was slow for the first couple laps after the pits, but I used a little boost then to just burn it off faster, but it worked out. Lap traffic was good the whole time too. That was the hardest track ever.
Yeah, no
Great.
doubt the concentration level is tremendous around here, trying to do what you just did. But really, unbelievable run, very impressive. And you know, we saw you make that mistake exiting the pits at Jerez, but you know, Taylor did something similar there in his last stop. So it happens. So. But nonetheless, you're going to carry some ballast, some success weight into Spa next week. The modern version of Spa. Any early thoughts going into that?
That'll be fun in these.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun going through a Rouge. But it doesn't look like the weight's too much of a hindrance for some of these guys. How do you feel going into that one?
The weight was definitely more of a hindrance tonight, but Spa will be more of a wide open momentum, keep the speed up type track. I don't think weight maybe coming out of the bus stop, but that's about it. We'll see. But those guys without weight, they're fast too, so it'll be good.
Well, Andrew, congratulations again on an unbelievable run and your first open wheel victory here on Monday nights, and congratulations on your Thursday win, another impressive run, back to back. So good job.
Back to back.
Yep, not easy to do.
Thanks, Al.
All right. Good luck next week.
See you guys. Yeah. Yep.
All right, Brad. Well, there you have it. Adamson putting together a great show here tonight. Really, really great run. Unfortunately, you couldn't participate. It would have been you up there.
Well, yeah, no. I certainly would not have been in line for the win. I think that I would have had notable mention, but doesn't matter. No, those two guys are in a class by themselves, obviously. Nobody else is going to touch them, regardless of how everything else played out. Moses, Parsons, Houston, Kirkbride, no. Obviously, those were two guys that were the most prepared and ran the cleanest in the race and had obviously a very solid game plan going in. So I'm very impressed, and it's a well-deserved win, man. Absolutely deserved.
Yep. So thanks everybody for tuning in here tonight from Monaco. We're going to be back next Monday, live from Spa, 9 p.m. Eastern, for round 5 of the championship. Until then, we are at Silverstone on Thursday night in the GT Series. Join Jack Ivy and Jake Feemster for coverage of that one. But until then, thanks everybody for tuning in, and hopefully we'll see you next week. Have a good night.